Welcome back to the DAMY vlog. My name is Dr. Duizer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today on the show we're talking about healing from adrenal fatigue, healing from chronic stress, rebalancing your stress hormone response naturally. The reason this is important, well, when you go through chronic stress, periods of prolonged either physical or mental emotional stressors, your adrenal response, your cortisol and adrenaline secretion, stress hormone secretion can become what we call out of balance. This can be high morning stress response, high nighttime stress response, low morning stress response, low nighttime stress response, or low morning and high nighttime stress response. Whenever these happen, there can be a predisposition to poor reactions to stress overall. There can be symptoms like low energy, cravings for sugar, cravings for calorie-dense foods, and a whole host of other symptoms. There can be the core symptom we're looking at when this is happening, when these hormones are out of balance, is just poor responses to daily stressors, inability to cope with the stress of daily life. What can we do? Well, my family and I just got back from a week in the woods, so we need to talk about the environment that you live in and how changing your environment can rebalance these levels. The reason I mention our recent trip is because every summer we go to the woods and we spend a week, and we just feel so rejuvenated at the end of this trip. Well, why does that happen? The research supports that if you spend time around trees, if you connect your feet to the ground, your stress hormone response will be more balanced. If you have high cortisol, it'll be pulled down. If you have low cortisol and low energy in general, your energy can be lifted and your responses to stress can be normalized. These are the two things I wanted to point out today. It's really important to once in a while get your feet on the ground. It's called earthing, to connect with nature. We know that walking in the woods for 30 minutes can pull down cortisol levels, and we know that sleeping on the earth can pull down cortisol levels if you are someone who suffers from high nighttime cortisol. Aside from those two facts, just getting out into the woods, reconnecting with the earth is extremely helpful for resetting your responses to stress and rebalancing your cortisol release and adrenaline release. Cortisol should be nicely released in the morning. That is this cortisol awakening response. It suppresses your melatonin and gets you set for the day. Then over the course of the day, it should get lower and lower with minor spikes with exercise and eating. Adrenaline should go up when you experience some sort of stress, some sort of perceived stress. If it's going up too high or not being broken down quick enough, that can cause panic attacks and overt anxiety. If your cortisol is just too high in general, that can cause a chronic stress response, which can lead to the diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder. So it's important, if you're someone who experiences stress chronically or has poor responses to stress in general, to reconnect with nature by walking around trees and getting your feet on the ground, preferably for long periods of time. Usually when you're doing this, you're disconnecting from the web and from technology and allowing your eyes to experience proper sunlight and all the other benefits associated with nature, like the smells and the other connections that you can experience. We like to get our feet in the ocean, for example, and experience the cold water of the Pacific. But these are all things that can be helpful. Really, it's walking around trees, putting your feet on the ground. These can be really helpful if you know you have either low or very, very high cortisol or adrenaline responses in general. That's the DAMY vlog for today. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing more of these videos. My name is Dr. David Duizer, and thank you so much for watching.